think it's fair to say that when Red Matter 2 hit PSVR2 just a few months back, it cemented Vertical Robot as one of the most respected VR developers out there. The game offered up a ton of great puzzles, platforming, and action, sure, but the technical achievement of running in 4K at a native 120 FPS was probably what we marveled at more than anything else. But a lot of new VR gamers never played the original, which makes today pretty special, the day that Red Matter 1 comes to PSVR2. Alright, let's kick it back to December 2018 and check out my original review of Red Matter on PSVR1. As I crash-landed onto a Soviet-occupied moon orbiting Saturn, I could immediately tell that this new adventure I was embarking on was going to be something unique, an escape room-style puzzle game like no other. Sure, previous PSVR outings like Dying Reborn, I Expect You to Die, and 18 Floors are all opaque representations of the genre, but Red Matter is much more subtle with its approach, reminiscent of a classic point-and-click adventure game. So once you've solved all the puzzles and found your way to the closing credits, there isn't much in the way of replayability. But your first time through the space station will certainly be one to remember. I think I was a better writer in 2018, certainly a lot more enthusiastic. But yeah, the language in Red Matter isn't Russian, it's Volgravian. And with that out of the way, I do have to agree with myself and say, yeah, there's not a lot of replayability here outside of getting the Platinum Trophy. But I do have to say that I'm jealous of anyone who hasn't gone on this adventure before, because stepping back into this world was pretty awesome. The level of interactivity infused into Red Matter's environments is pretty outstanding, mostly because your versatile left hand gives you 3 useful tools for exploration. Practically everything can be picked up and thrown, but better than that is your ability to scan your surroundings, invoking memories of Metroid Prime, which will describe what you see, help obtain security codes, and translate documents from Russian, allowing you to dive deeper into the space station's lore or simply discover clues that'll help you solve a nearby puzzle. Scanning everything became an addiction, which is probably why I didn't encounter too many frustrating roadblocks, allowing me to sail through Red Matter in just over 3 hours. If you're stuck, the answer is very frequently right in front of you, although a few specific puzzles had me scratching my head far longer than they rightfully should have. Okay, that last puzzle I showed was actually super easy. Like I said, if you look around and scan everything, the answer is right in front of you somewhere. And that's the way to take this world in, by reading everything, opening every locker, and exploring every corner. Sure, it's slow, but if you like a slow-paced adventure, you're in luck. My real concern is that if you've already played Red Matter 2, you might miss the platforming and action that helps break up all the puzzle segments. I will say though, I think that Vertical Robot could have used the adaptive triggers far more effectively here. The world of Red Matter is very tactile, but that hasn't translated nearly as well as I thought it would to the Sense controllers. By the time Red Matter launches in the States, there should be a patch addressing practically every concern I have with the game. The developers are promising to implement a faster walking speed, true smooth turning, and an option to disable the heavy use of anti-aliasing. But even as is, there's simply not a lot to complain about here. The story and voice acting are great, the graphics have a nice look to them, and even Red Matter's version of teleportation, an optional sort of point and float to your destination mechanic, works perfectly fine here. I love the dark, mysterious mood that punctuates every beat in the sci-fi story. Developers Vertical Robot could have easily gone off the deep end into an abyss of the abstract, but they constantly reground the player after every bizarre moment, just enough to make you shake your head, wonder what just happened, and quickly get back to the task at hand. Just be warned, there's no action of any kind here. This is a puzzle adventure, through and through. Alright, let's get down to the thing that everyone's here for. Red Matter 1 looks phenomenal on PSVR2. It's running in high resolution at a native 90 FPS using no reprojection. But these environments look better now than they've ever looked before. Little details like scuffed surfaces, dings and imperfections in every glass window, real-time reflections, it all shines in the headset. The only minor flaw are the shadows, which sometimes look phenomenal, but other times suffer from some serious pixelation. The only other concern I noticed is that sometimes your claw tool will occasionally grab items from the wrong direction, which doesn't affect the gameplay at all, it just looks kind of weird. Spending $25 on a slow-paced 3 or 4 hour adventure without much replayability might be a tough sell for some gamers. But die-hard adventure fans looking for a memorable, story-rich mystery with plenty of puzzles to solve along the way are absolutely gonna love picking apart the secrets of this Soviet space station room by room. With plenty of other escape rooms flooding the market on PlayStation VR, we do have a lot of options when it comes to this genre. But Red Matter might have just taken the crown for my favorite. With all the graphical improvements, not to mention not needing to use the Move controllers anymore, Red Matter 1 has aged incredibly gracefully. On its own, it still stands as an amazing puzzle game with a lived-in world that oozes atmosphere, and when looked at in the grander scheme of things, it's a wonderful precursor to what comes next.